Ye gentle audience,
noblemen and growlings,
the Stage Club welcomes you to
Measure for Measure! There will be one 15-minute intermission, hence...
We prithee, silence ye your clack dishes and devices.
Yea, yea, yea!
Pray, capture not a photograph or film.
Nay,
Nay, nay!
come hither to all.
Enjoy the show!
Let's play, play, play!
Escala, my lady, of government of properties to unfold would seem in me to affect speech and discourse, since I am put to know that your own science succeeds in the list of any advice my strength can give you. The nature of our people, our city's institutions, and the terms for common justice, you're as pregnant and as art and practice hath enriched any that we remember. There is our commission, from which we would not have you walk. Call hither, I say, come before us, Angelo. What figure of us think you he will bear? For you must know we have with special soul elected him our absence to supply, lent him our terror, dressed him with our love, and given his deputation all the organs of our own power. What think you of it?
If any in this city be of worth to undergo such ample grace and honor, it is Lord Angelo.
Look where he comes.
Always obedient to your grace's will, I come to know your pleasure.
Angelo, there is a kind of character in thy life that to the observer doth thy history fully unfold. Thyself and thy belongings are not thine own, so proper as to waste thyself upon thy virtues they on thee. Heavens doth with us as we with torches do, not like them for themselves, for if our virtues did not go forth of us, 'twere all alike as if we had them not. Hold therefore, Angelo, in our remove be thou at full ourself. Mortality and mercy in this city live in thy tongue and heart. Old Escala here, though first in question, is thy secondary. Take thy commission.
Now, good my lady, let there be some more test made of my metal before so great and noble a figure be stamped upon it.
No more evasion. We have with a leavened and prepared choice proceeded to you. Therefore take your honours. Our haste from hence is of so quick condition that it prefers itself and leaves unquestioned matters of needful value. We shall write to you, as time and consuming shall importune, how goes it with us, and do look to know what doth befall you here. So fare you well, to the hopeful execution of your commissions do I leave you.
Yet, give leave, my lady, that we may bring you something on the way.
My haste may not admit it, nor need you on mine honour have to do with any scruples. Your scope is as mine own, to enforce and qualify the laws as to your soul seems good. Give me your hand. I'll privily away. I love the people, but do not like to stage me to their eyes, though it do well. I do not relish their loud applause and ours vehement. Nor do I think a man of safe discretion that does affect it. Once more, very well.
The heavens give safety to your purposes.
Lead forth and bring you back in happiness.
I thank you very well.
I shall desire you, sir, to give me leave to have free speech with you. And it concerns me to look into the bottom of my place. A power I have, but of what strength and nature I'm not yet instructed.
'Tis so with me. Let us withdraw together, and we may soon our satisfaction have, touching that point.
I shall wait for your honor.
Mitigation comes. I have purchased as many diseases under her roof.
Well, there's one yonder arrested and carried to prison was worth 5,000 of you all.
Who's that, I pray thee?
Marry Claudio, Signor
not so.
Nay, 'tis so. I saw him arrested, saw him carried away, and which is more, within these 3 days to have his head chopped off.
I would not have it so.
Art thou sure of this?
I am too sure of it.
What has he done?
Groping for trouts in a peculiar river. It is forgetting Madam Julietta with child.
Believe me, this may be. He promised to meet me 2 hours since, and he was ever precise in promise-keeping. I'll go and learn the truth of it.
Thus, what with the war, what with the gallows, what with the sweat, what with the poverty, I am custom shrunk.
All houses in the suburbs of the city must be plucked down.
Well, what is to become of us in the city?
They had gone down too, but a wise burgher put in for them.
Well, are all our houses of resort in the suburbs to be pulled down?
To the ground, mistress.
Well, that is a change in the Commonwealth. And what is to become of me?
Come, fear not you. Good counsellors lack no clients. Though you change your place, you need not change your trade. I'll be your tapster still.
Oh,
Courage! There will be pity taken on you. You that have worn your eyes out almost in the service. You will be considered.
Fellow, why dost thou show me thus to the world? Bear me to prison where I'm committed.
I do it not in evil disposition, but from Lord Angelo by special charge.
Why? How now, Claudio? Whence comes this restraint? From too much liberty, my Lucio, liberty! As Sir Fet is the father of much past, so every scope by the immoderate use turns to restraint.
If I could speak so wisely under arrest, I would send for certain of my creditors. And yet, to say the truth, I had as lief have the foppery of freedom as the mortality of imprisonment. What's thy offence, Claudio?
What but to speak of would offend?
Again, what is it, murder?
No, lechery?
Call it so. Away, sir, you must go.
Oh, one word, good friend. Lucio, a word with you.
100 if they'll do you any good. Is lechery so looked after?
Thus stands it with me. Upon a true contract, I got possession of Julietta's bed. You know the lady. She is false, my wife. Save that we do the denunciation lack of outward order. This we came not to only for propagation of a dower remaining in the coffer of her friends, from whom we thought it meet to hide our love till time had made them for us. But it chances the stealth of our most mutual entertainment, with character too gross, is writ on Juliet.
With child, perhaps.
And happily, even so. And the new deputy now for the Duchess awaits me all the enrolled penalties, which have, like unscoured armor, hung by the walls so long that 19 zodiac have gone around, and none of them been worn. And for a name now puts the drowsy and neglected act freshly on me. 'Tis surely for a name.
I warrant it is. And thy head stands so tickle on thy shoulders that a milkmaid, if she be in love, may sigh it off. Send after the Duchess and appeal to her.
I have done so, but she's not to be found. I pray thee, Lucio, do me this kind service. This day my sister should the cloister enter, and there receive her approbation. Acquaint her with the danger of my state. Implore her, in my voice, that she make friends to the strict deputy. Bid herself assay him. I have great hope in that, for in her youth there is a prone and speechless dialect such as move men. Besides, she hath prosperous art when she play with reason and discourse, and well she can persuade.
I pray she may, as well for the encouragement of the like, which else will stand under grievous imposition, as for the enjoying of thy life, which I would be sorry should be thus foolishly lost at a game of tic-tac. I'll to her.
Oh, thank you, good friend Lucio.
Within 2 hours.
Come, officer, away.
I desire thee to give me secret harbour hath a purpose more grave and wrinkled than the aims and ends of burning youth.
May your grace speak of it.
I have delivered to Lord Angelo, a man of stricture and firm abstinence, my absolute power and place in this city, and he supposes me travel to Poland, for so I have strewed it in the common ear, and so it is received. Now, pious lady, you will demand of me why I do this.
Gladly, my lady.
We have strict statutes and most biting laws, the needful bits and curbs to headstrong weeds, for which this 14 years we have let slip, even like an o'ergrown lion in a cave that goes not out to prey. Now as fond fathers, having bound up the threatening twigs of birch, only to stick it in their children's sight, for terror not to use, in time the rod more mocked than feared, and so our decrees, dead to infliction, are to themselves dead. Liberty plucks justice by the nose, the baby beats the nurse, and quite athwart goes all decorum.
It rested in your grace to unloose this tied-up justice, and it in you 'twould seem more dreadful than in Lord Angelo.
'Tis too dreadful, I fear. 'Twas my fault to give the people scope. 'Twould be my tyranny to strike and gall them for what I bid them do. Therefore, Holy Mother, I have imposed on Angelo the office, so that he may in the ambush of my name strike home, and yet my nature never in the fight to do in slander. And to behold his sway, I will, as 'twere a sister of your order, visit both prince and people. Therefore I prithee supply me with the habit, and instruct me how I may formally in person bear as a true nun. More reasons for this decision shall I render you at your leisure. Only this one. Lord Angelo is precise, stands at a guard with envy, scarce confesses that his blood flows, or that his appetite is more to bread than stone. Hence shall we see, if power change purpose, what our seamers be.
And have you nuns no farther privileges?
Are these not large enough?
Yes, truly. I speak not as desiring more, but rather wishing a more strict restraint upon this sisterhood, the votaries of St. Clair.
Oh, peace be in this place.
Who's that which calls?
It's a man's voice, gentle Isabella. Turn you the key and find his business off him. You may. I may not. You are unsworn yet. Once you have vowed, you must not speak with men, but in the presence of the prioress.
Gentle and fair. Your brother kindly greets you. Not to be weary with you. He's in prison.
Oh, me? For what?
For that which, if myself might be his judge, he should receive his punishment in thanks. He hath got his friend with child.
Sir, make me not your story.
'Tis true. Your brother and his lover have embraced. As those that feed grow full as blossoming time. That from the sweetness the bare fallow brings to teeming foison. Even so, her plenteous womb expresseth his full tilth and husbandry.
Someone with child by him. My cousin Juliet.
Is she your cousin?
Adopted me. As schoolmates change names by weighing the lacked affection.
She it is.
So let him marry her.
This is the point. The Duchess is very strangely gone from hence. In her place, and with full line of her authority, governs Lord Angelo, a man whose blood is very snow broth. One who never feels the wanton stings and motions of the sense, but doth rebate and blunt his natural edge with profits of the mind, study and fast. He, to give fear to use and liberty, which have long run by this as mice by lions, hath picked out an act, under whose heavy sense your brother's life falls into forfeit. He arrests him on it, and follows close the rigour of the statute to make him an example. All hope is lost, unless you have the grace, by your fair prayer, to soften Angela. And that's my pith of business twixt you and your poor brother.
Doth he so seek his life?
Has censured him already. And, as I hear, the provost hath a warrant for his execution.
Alas, what poor abilities in me to do him good.
I say, the power you have.
My power. Alas, I doubt.
Our doubts are traitors, and makes us lose the good we oft might win by fearing to attempt. Go to Lord Angelo, and let him learn to know, when maidens sue, men give like gods, but when they weep and kneel, all their petitions are as freely theirs as they themselves would owe them.
I'll see what I can do.
But speedily.
I'll go about it straight, no longer staying but to give mother notice of my affair. I humbly thank you. Good sir, adieu.
Birds of prey, and letting it keep one shape, till custom make it their perch, and not their terror.
Aye, but yet let us be keen, and rather cut a little than fall and bruise to death. Alas, this gentleman whom I would save had a most noble father. Let but your honour know, whom I believe to be most straight in virtue, that in the working of your own affections had time cohered with place, or place with wishing, or the resolute acting of your blood could have attained the effect of your own purpose, whether you had not sometime in your life urged to this point for which now you censure him and pull the law upon you.
'Tis one thing to be tempted, Escala, another thing to fall. I not deny the jury passing on the prisoner's life. Main the sworn 12 have a thief or two, guiltier than him they try. What's open made to justice, that justice seizes. What knows the laws that thieves do pass on thieves? 'Tis very pregnant, the jewel we find. We stoop and take it because we see it. But what we do not see, we tread upon, and never think of it. You may not so extenuate his offence, for I have had such faults. But rather tell me, when I that censure him do so offend, let mine own judgment pattern out my death, and nothing come impartial. Ma'am, he must die.
Be it as your wisdom will.
See that Folio be executed by 9 tomorrow morning. Bring him his confessor and let him be prepared, for that is the utmost of his pilgrimage.
Well, heaven forgive him and forgive us all. Some rise by sin, and some by virtue fall. Some run from breaks of ice and answer none, and some condemned for a fault alone.
Okay, Froth, over here, Froth, over there.
Now, sir, what's your name and what's the matter?
Oh, I am the constable, and my name is Annabelle, and I'm bringing here before you two notorious villains.
And what are you, ma'am?
She, sir, a tapster, sir, husser boy, one that serves a bad woman.
And how dost thou know that?
Mary, ma'am, but my wife, who, if she had been a woman, cardinally given, might have been accused of fornication, adultery, and all uncleanness there.
By a woman's means?
Oh, ma'am, my mistress overdone means. for as she spit in her face, so she defied her.
Mum, if it please your honor, this is not so.
Oh, prove it before these varlets here, thou honourable woman, prove it.
Do you hear how he misplaces?
Mom, she came in, great with child and big bellied and longing for stewed prunes. we had but two in the house, which at that very distant time stood in a fruit dish, a dish of some trumpets, not china dishes, but very good dishes. This mistress elbow, being with child and great bellied and longing for prunes, and us having two in the house, Mistress Froth having eaten the rest, and paying for them very honestly. For as you know, Mistress Froth, I could not give you twopence again.
No, indeed, huh?
Why, very well. You being then, if you be remembered, cracking the stones of the foresaid prunes.
Yea, so I did indeed.
Why, very
Oh,
well.
come, you are a tedious fool.
Mm-hmm.
To the purpose, what was done to Elbow's wife that he had a cause to complain of? Come me to, what was done to her?
'Twas in the bunch of grapes, where indeed you have a delight to sit, have you not?
I have so, for it is an open room and good for winter.
Why, very well. I hope you're
This
true.
will last a night out in Russia when nights are longest. I will leave you to the hearing of the cause, hoping you find good cause to whip them all.
I think no less. Good morrow to your lordship.
Okay, Pompey, off you go, Froth, off you go.
What did this woman to her?
Mom, I beseech you, look into Mistress Froth's face. Doth your honor mark her face?
Why, very well.
Doth your honor see any harm in her face?
Why, no.
Well, I'll be supposed upon a book. Her face is the worst thing about her. Good then, if her face be the worst thing about her, how could Mistress Froth do the constable's wife any harm? I would know that of your honor.
Well, she's in the right, constable. Truly, because she had some offences in her that thou wouldst discover if thou couldst. Let her continue in her courses until thou knowest what they are.
Marry, mum, I thank your good worship for it. Thou seest, thou wicked varlet, now what's come upon thee, aye? Thou ought to continue, thou varlet, thou ought to continue.
Where were you born, friend?
Here in the city, ma'am.
And are you of 80 pounds a year?
Yes, and it please you, ma'am.
So, what trade are you of?
Tapster, a poor tapster.
You're a tapster. Come hither, Mistress Froth. Mistress Froth, I shall not have you acquainted with these tapsters, okay? Get you gone and let me hear no more of you.
Get, Froth.
I
Get.
thank your worship. For my own part, I never come into any room in a tap house, but I am drawn
Get you
in.
gone.
Froth, get.
Farewell.
Hurry up, Froth.
Come you hither to me, Mistress Tapster. What
Go.
is your name?
Pompey, truly, ma'am, I am a poor woman that would live.
And how would you live, Pompey? By being a bawd? What do you think of this trade? Is this a lawful trade?
If the law would allow it, ma'am.
The law will not allow it, nor shall it be allowed in this city.
Does your worship mean to geld and splay all the youth of the city?
No, Pompey.
Well, in my poor opinion, they will do it then. If your worship were to take order for the drabs and the knaves, you need not to fear the bawds.
There are pretty orders beginning. I can tell you it is butt heading and hanging.
If your worship were to head and hang all that offend that way, but for 10 years together, you would be glad to give out a commission for more heads. If this law hold in the city 10 years, I'll be glad to rent the fairest house in it after threepence a bay. If you see this come to pass, say, Pompey told you so.
Thank you, good Pompey. And in requital of your prophecy, hark you. I advise you, let me not find you before me for any complaint whatsoever. No, not for dwelling where you do. If I do, I shall have you whipped. Fare you well.
I thank your worship for your good counsel, but I shall follow it as the flesh and fortune shall better determine. Whip me? No, no. Let Garmin whip his jade. The valiant heart's not whipped out of her trade.
What's the matter, Provost?
Is it your will Claudio should die tomorrow?
Did not I tell thee, yeah? Hadst thou no order? Why dost thou ask again?
Lest I might be too rash. Under your good correction I have seen when, after execution, judgment hath repented or doomed.
Go to. Let that be mine. Do you your office? Or give up your place, and you shall well be spared.
I crave your honour's pardon. What shall be done, sir, with the groaning Juliet? She's very near her hour.
Dispose of her to some more fitter place, and that with speed.
Here is the sister of the man condemned, desires access to you.
Have ye a sister?
I am, my good lord, a very virtuous maid, and to be shortly of a sisterhood, if not already.
Well, let her be admitted. See you the fornicatress be removed. Let her have needful, but not lavish means. There shall be order for it.
Save your honour.
Stay a little while. You're welcome. What's your will?
I am a woeful suitor to your honor. Please, but your honor, hear me.
Well, what's your suit?
There is a vice that most I do abhor, and most desire should meet the blow of justice, for which I would not plead, but that I must, for which I must not plead, but I am at work which will and will not.
Well, the matter.
I have a brother, is condemned to die. I do beseech you, let it be his fault and not my brother.
Heaven give thee moving graces.
Condemn the fault, and not the actor of it. Why, every fault's condemned ere it be done. Mine were the very cipher of a function to find the fault, whose fine stands in record, and let go by the actor.
Be just, with severe law. I had a brother then. Heaven keep your honor.
Give it not us so. To him again, entreat him.
Must he needs die?
Maiden, no remedy.
Yes, but I think you might pardon him, and neither heaven nor man grieve at thy mercy.
I will not do it.
But can you, if you would?
Look, but I will not. That I cannot do.
But might you do it, and do the world no harm? If so your heart were touched with that remorse as mine is to him.
He's sentenced. 'Tis too late.
You are too cold.
Too late? Why no. I that speak a word may take it back again. Believe this. If he had been as you, and you as he, you would have slipped like him. But he like you would not have been so stern.
Oh, pray you be gone.
I would to heaven I had your potency.
Aye, touch him. There's the thing.
Your brother is a forfeit of the law. You but waste your words.
How would you be, if he that is at the top of judgment would but judge you as you are? Oh, think on that, and mercy then will breathe within your lips, like man new made.
Be you content, fair maid. It is the law, not I, condemn your brother. Were he my kinsman, brother, or my son, it should be thus with him. He must die tomorrow.
Tomorrow? Oh, that's sudden. Spare him, spare him. He's not prepared for death. Even for our kitchen, we kill the fowl of season. Shall we serve heaven with less respect than we do minister to our gross selves? Good my lord, bethink you, who it is who had died for this offence. There is many have committed it.
Aye, well said.
Yet show some pity.
I show it most of all when I show justice. For then I pity those I do not know, for which a dismissed offence would after gall. Your brother dies tomorrow. Be content.
So you must be the first that gives the sentence, and he that suffers? It's excellent to have a giant's strength, but it's tyrannous to use it like a giant.
That's well said.
Proud man, dressed in a little brief authority, most ignorant of what he is most assured. His glossy essence, like an angry ape, plays such fantastic tricks before high heavens as makes the angels weep.
Oh, to him, wench. He will relent. He's coming, I perceive it.
Pray heaven she win him.
Great men may jest with saints, this wit in them, but in the less foul profanation.
Thou art in the right, girl. More of it.
That in a captain's but a choleric word, which which in a soldier is flat blasphemy.
Art abides to that. All right.
Why do you put these sayings upon me?
Because authority, though it err like others, hath yet a kind of medicine in itself that skins the wise who talk. Go to listen. Knock there. Ask your heart what it doth know, that is like my brother's fault. And if it confess to a natural guiltiness such as is his, let it not sound a thought upon your tongue against my brother's life.
She speaks, and to such sense that my sense breeds with it. Fare you all.
Gentle my lord, turn back.
I will bethink me. Come again tomorrow.
Hark how I bribe you.
How? Bribe me?
With such gifts as heavens shall share with you.
You admire none else.
Not with the fond sickles of tested gold, or stones whose rates are rich or poor as fancy values them, but with true prayers that will be up at heaven and enter there.
Well, come to me tomorrow.
Go to, 'tis well.
Heaven keep your honor safe.
Amen. For I am that way going to temptation, where prayers do cross. What's this? What's this? Is this her fault? Or mine? The tempter? Or the tempted? Who sins most, huh? Not she, nor doth she tempt, but it is I that lying by the violet in the sun do as the carrion does, and not as the flower, corrupt with virtuous season. Can it be that modesty may more betray our sense than woman's likeness? Oh, fie! 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 What dost thou? What art thou, Angelo? Dost thou desire her foully for those things that make her good? What dost thou? What art thou, Angelo? Do I love her? That I desire to hear her speak again and feast upon her eyes. What is it I dream of? Oh, cunning enemy, that to catch a saint with saints dost bait thy hook. Most dangerous be that temptation that doth goad us on to sin in loving virtue. Never could the strumpet with her double vigour, art, and nature once stir my temper. But this virtuous maid subdues me quiet. Ever till now, when men were fond, I smiled and wondered how.
To you, Provost, so I think you are.
I am the Provost. What's your will, good sister?
Bound by my charity and my blessed order, I have come to visit the afflicted spirits here in prison.
I would do more than that if more were needful. Look, here comes one. A gentlewoman of mine. She is lame and with child. And he that got it, sentenced. A young man, more fit to do another such offence than to die for this.
When must he die?
As I do think, tomorrow. I have provided for you. Stay a while and you shall be conducted.
Repent you, O fair one, of the sin that you carry.
I do, and bear the shame most patiently.
Then I shall teach you how you shall arraign your conscience and try your penitence.
How gladly learn.
Love you, the man who wronged you?
Yes, as I love the woman that wronged him.
So then it appears your most offensive act was mutually committed.
Mutually. I do repent me as it is an evil, and take the shame with joy.
There, rest. Your partner, as I hear it, must die tomorrow. I shall go with instruction to him. Benedicite.
Must die tomorrow. Oh, endurance, love, that respite me alive, whose very comfort is still a dying horror.
'Tis pity of him.
When I would pray and think, I think and pray to several subjects. Heaven hath my empty words, whilst my invention, not hearing my tongue, anchors on Isabel. The state whereon I studied is like a good thing being often read, grown sere and tedious. Yea, my gravity, wherein let no man hear me, I take pride. Could I with boot change for an idle plume that the air beats for vain? O place, O form, how often dost thou with thy case, thy habit, wrench all from fools, and tie the wiser souls to thy false seeming? Blood, thou art blood. Let's write good angel on the devil's horn. 'Tis not the devil's crest. How now, who's there?
One Isabel, a sister, desires access to you.
Why does my blood thus muster to my heart, making both it unable to itself and dispossessing all my other parts of necessary fitness? So play the foolish throngs with one that swoons. Come all to help, and so stop the aim by which he should revive. How now, fair maid?
I'm come to know your pleasure.
That you might know it would much better please me than to demand what 'tis. Your brother cannot live. It were as good to pardon him that hath from nature stolen a man already made, as to remit their saucy sweetness that do coin God's image and stamps forbid.
'Tis said down so in heaven, but not on earth.
Say you so? Then I shall pose you quickly. Which had you rather, that the most just law now took your brother's life, or to redeem him? Give up your body to such sweet uncleanness as she that he hath stained.
Sir, believe this. I would rather give my body than my soul.
I talk not of your soul. Our compelled sins stand more for number than for account.
How say you?
I, now the voice of the recorded law, pronounce a sentence on your brother's life. Might there not be a charity in sin to save this brother's life?
That I do beg his life. If it be sin, heaven let me bear it. You granting of my suit, if that be sin, I'll make it my morn prayer, to have it added to faults of mine and nothing of your answer.
Either you are ignorant, or seem so, crafty, and that's not good.
Let me be ignorant, and in nothing good, but graciously to know I am no better.
Mark me, to be received plain, I'll speak more gross. Your brother is to die.
So,
And his offence is so, as it appears, accounted to the law upon that pain.
true.
Admit, no other way to save his life, as I subscribe not that, nor any other, but in the loss of question, that you, his sister, finding yourself desired by someone whose credit with the judge, or own great place, could fetch your brother from the manacles of the all-binding law, and that there were no earthly mean to save him, but that either you lay down the treasures of your body to the supposed, or else to let him suffer. What would you do?
As much for my brother as myself. That is, were I under the terms of death, the impression of keen whips I would bear as rubies, and strip myself to death as to a bed that longing have been sick for, ere I yield my body up to shame.
Then must your brother die.
And it were the cheaper way. I would rather a brother died at once, than that his sister by redeeming him should die forever.
Were not you then as cruel as the law you have slandered so?
Lawful mercy is nothing kin to foul redemption.
You seemed of late to make the law a tyrant, and rather prove the sliding of your brother a merriment than a vice.
Pardon me, my lord. I something do endure, a thing I hate, for his advantage that I dearly love.
We are all frail.
Else let my brother die. If not a Federer, but he, oh, and succeed thy weakness.
Nay, women are frail too. Be that you are, that is, a woman. If you be more, you're none. If you be one, as you are well expressed by all external warrants, show it now by putting on the destined livery.
I have no tongue but one. Gentle my lord, I entreat you speak the former language.
Plainly conceive, I love you.
My brother did love Juliet, and you tell me he shall die for it?
He shall not, if you give me love.
Your virtue hath a kind of license in it. It seems fouler than it is to pluck on others.
Believe me, on mine honor. My words express my purpose.
Little honor to much belief, and most pernicious purpose. Seeming. I proclaim the angel who look for it. Sign me a present pardon for my brother, or with an outstretched throat I tell the world what man thou art.
Who would believe thee? Isabel, the austereness of my life, my unsoiled name, my vouch against you, and my place in the state shall so your accusation overweigh that you shall stifle in your own report and smell of calumny. I have begun, and I now give my sensual race the rein. But thy consent to my sharp appetite. Lay aside all niceties and prolixious blushes that banish what they sue for. Redeem thy brother by yielding thy body to my will. Or else he shall not only die the death, but your unkindness shall his death draw out to a lingering sufferance. Answer me tomorrow, or by the affections that now guide me the most, I shall prove a tyrant to him. And as for you, say what you can. My faults I will raise to your truth.
heaven, hooking both right and wrong to the appetite to follow as it draws. I'll to my brother. Though he had fallen by prompture of blood, yet hath he in him such a mind of honour that had he 20 heads to tender down upon 20 bloody blocks, he'll yield them up before his sister should her body stoop to such abhorred pollution. And then, Isabel lived chaste, and brother died. More than our brother is our chastity. I'll tell him yet of Angelo's request, and fit his mind to death for his soul's rest.
So then you hope of pardon from Lord Angelo?
The miserable have no other medicine, but I have hope to live, and am prepared to die.
Be absolute for death. Either death or life shall thereby be the sweeter. Reason thus with life. If I do lose thee, I lose a thing that none but fools would keep. Thy best of rest is sleep, and that which thou oft provokest yet grossly fearest, thy death, which is no more. Thou art not thyself, for thou exists on many 1,000 graves. Thou hast neither youth nor age, but as it were an after-dinner sleep, dreaming on both. When thy beloved youth becomes aged, and doth beg the arms of palsied eld, and when thou art old and rich, thou hast neither heat, affection, live, nor beauty to keep thy riches pleasant. What's yet in this that bears the name of life? Yet in this life lie hid more 1,000 deaths, but it's death that we fear. That makes the odds all even.
I humbly thank you. To sue to leave, I thought I seek to die, and seeking death, find life. Let it come on.
Peace, hope, grace here, and good company.
Who's there? Come in. The wish deserves a welcome.
Dear sir, ere long I'll visit you again. Provost, bring me to hear them speak where I may be concealed.
Now, sister, what's the comfort?
Why, as all comforts are, most good indeed. Lord Angelo, having affairs to heaven, intends you for his swift ambassador, where you shall be an everlasting liger. Therefore your best appointment make with speed. Tomorrow you set on.
Is there no remedy?
Yes, but such remedy as to save a head, to cleave a heart in twain.
But is there any?
Yes, brother, you may live. There is a devilish mercy in the judge. If you implore it, that will set your life free, but fetter you till death.
Perpetual durance.
Just perpetual durance, a restraint, though all world's vastity you had to a determined scope.
Let me know the point.
I fear thee, Claudio, and I quake, lest thou a feverous life shouldst entertain, and 6 or 7 winters more respect than a perpetual honour. Darst thou death? The sense of death is most in apprehension. The poor beetle that we trod upon, in corporal sufferance, finds a pang as great as when a giant dies.
Why give you me the shame? Think you I can a resolution fetch from flowery tenderness? If I must die, I will encounter darkness as a bride and hug it in mine arms.
Thou must die. Thou art too noble to conserve a life in base appliances. This outward scented deputy is yet a devil. His filth within being cast, he would appear a pond as deep as hell.
The Prinzy Angelo.
Oh, 'tis the cunning livery of hell, the damnous body to conserve and invest in princy guards. Dost thou think, Claudio, if I would yield him my virginity, thou mightst be freed?
Oh heavens, it cannot be!
Well, he will give it thee. From this rank offence, so to offend him still. This night's the time that I should do what I most abhor to name, or else thou diest tomorrow.
Thou shalt not do it.
Were it but my body, I'll throw it down upon your deliverance as frankly as a pin.
Thanks, dear Isabel.
Be ready, Claudio, for your death tomorrow.
Yes. Ooh. Has he affections in him that thus can make him bite the law by the nose when he would force it? Sure it is no sin, or of the deadly seven it is the least.
Which is the least?
If it were damnable, he being so wise, why would he, for the momentary trick, be perdibly fine?
What says my brother?
Death is a fearful thing.
And shame life a hateful.
Aye, but to die, and go we know not where, to lie in cold obstruction, and to rot, the sensible motion, to become a kneaded clod, and the delighted spirit to bathe in fiery flood, or to reside in thrilling regions of thick-ribbed ice, to be imprisoned in the viewless winds and blown with restless violence round about the pendant world. Or to be worse than worst of those that, lawless and in certain thought, imagine howling, 'tis too horrible. The weariest, most loathed worldly life, that age, ache, penury and imprisonment can lay on nature, is a paradise to what we fear of death. Sweet sister, let me live. What sin you do to save a brother's life? Nature dispenses with the deed so far that it becomes a virtue.
Oh, you beast!
You faithless coward! You dishonest wretch! Wilt thou be made a man out of my vice? Is it not a kind of incest to take life from thine own sister's shame? Take my defiance, die, perish. Might but my bending down reprieve thee, it should proceed. Nay,
I'll say 1,000 prayers for your death, not a word to save thee.
Nay, hear me, Isabel!
Fie, thy sin's not accidental, it's best thou diest quickly.
Oh, hear me, Isabella!
Vouchsafe a word, young sister, but one word.
what's your will?
Might you dispense with your leisure? I would by and by have some speech with you. The satisfaction I require would likewise be to your own benefit. Son, I have overheard what hath passed between you and your sister. Angelo never had the purpose to corrupt her. Only he had made an assay of her virtue to practice his judgment in the disposition of natures. She, having the truth of honour in her, hath made him the gracious denial, which he is most glad to receive. I am confessor to Angelo and know this to be true. Tomorrow you must die. Go to your knees and make ready.
Let me ask my sister pardon. I am so out of love with life, I seek to be rid of it.
The hand that hath made you fair hath made you good. The assault that Angelo hath made to you fortune hath conveyed to my understanding. If that frailty hath examples for his falling, I should wonder at Angelo. How will you do to content this substitute and to save your brother?
I shall now resolve him. I had rather my brother died by the law than my son should be unlawfully born. But oh, how much is the good Duchess deceived in Angelo? If ever she return and I can speak to her, I'll open my lips in vain or discover his government.
Fasten your ear upon my advisings. To the love I have in doing good, a remedy presents itself.
Let me hear you speak, Father.
Have you not heard speak of Mariana, the sister of Frederick, the great soldier who miscarried at sea?
I've heard of the lady, and good words went with her name.
She, should this Angelo have married, was affianced to her oath and the nuptial appointed, between which time of the contract and limit of the solemnity, her poor brother Frederick was wrapped at sea. But mark how heavily this befell the poor gentlewoman. There she lost a noble and renowned brother, with him her marriage dowry, with them both a convenant husband, this well-seeming Angelo.
And this be so? Did Angelo so leave her?
Left her in tears and dried not one of them with his comfort, swallowed his vows whole, pretending in discoveries of her dishonour. In few, bestowed her on her own lamentations, which she yet wears for his sake. And he, a marble to her tears, is washed with them, but relents not.
What corruption in this life, that it makes this man live! But how out of this will she avail?
It is a rupture that you may easily heal. The cure of it not only saves your brother, but keeps you from dishonour in doing it.
Show me how.
This forenamed maid hath yet in her a continuance of her first affection. Go you to Angelo, and answer his requirings with a plausible obedience. Agree to his demands to the point. Only refer yourself to this advantage, that your stay with him will not be long, that time shall have all shadow and silence in it, and the place answer to convenience. This being granted in course, and now follows all, we shall advise this wronged maid to set up your appointment to go in your place. If the encounter shall acknowledge itself hereafter, it may compel him to her recompense. And hereby this is your brother saved, your honour untainted, the poor Mariana advantaged, and the corrupt deputy scaled. The maid shall I frame and make fit for his attempt. If you think well to carry this as you may, the doubleness of the benefit may defend the deceit from reproof. What think you of it?
The image of it gives me content already, and I know it will grow to most prosperous perfection.
It lies much in your holding up. Haste you speedily to Angelo.
I thank you for this comfort.
A strange picklock, which we have sent to the deputy.
Friars Thomas, a bawd, a wicked bawd. Canst thou think thy living is a life so stinkingly depending? Go mend, go mend.
Indeed, Mom, it does stink in some sort, but yet, Mom,
To prison with her officer. Correction and instruction must both work ere this rude beast shall profit.
She must be for the deputy. He has given her warning, and he cannot abide a whore master.
That we were all, as some would seem to be, from our faults, as from faults seeming free.
I spy comfort, I cry bail. Here's a gentleman and a good friend of mine.
How now, noble Pompey? What, at the wheels of Caesar? How doth my dear morsel, thy mistress, procure she still?
Troth, sir, she hath eaten up all her beef, and she is herself in the tub.
Why, 'tis good, it is the right of it, it must be so. Ever your fresh whore and your powdered board, an unshunned consequence. It must be so. Art going to prison, Pompey?
Yes, faith, sir.
Why, 'tis not amiss, Pompey. Farewell. Go tell them I sent thee thither. For debt, Pompey, or
How?
For being a board.
Well, then imprison her. If imprisonment be the due of a board, 'tis her right. Bored is she, and of antiquity too. Board born. Farewell, dear Pompey. Commend me to the prison.
Sir, I hope your good worship will be my bail.
No, indeed will I not, Pompey. It is not the wear.
Calm your eyes, Mom, calm your eyes.
Sir, you will not bail me then.
Then, Pompey, nor now. But what news abroad, sister? Go to kennel, Pompey, go.
Calm your eyes, Mom, calm.
What news, sister, of the Duchess?
I know none. Can you tell me of any?
Some say she is with the Emperor of Russia. Other some she is in Rome, but where is she, think you?
I know not where, but wheresoever she is, I wish her well.
Lord Angelo dukes it well in her absence. He puts transgression to it.
He does well in it.
Little more lenity to lechery would do no harm in him.
It is too general a vice, and severity must cure it.
They say this Angelo was not made by man and woman after this downright way of creation. Is it true, think you?
You are pleasant, sir, and speak apace.
What a ruthless thing is this in him, for the rebellion of a codpiece to take away the life of a man! Would the Duchess that is absent have done this? She had some feeling for the sport. She knew the service, and that instructed her to mercy.
Surely you do her wrong, sir.
I was an inward of hers. I know the cause of her withdrawing.
And what, I prithee, might be the cause?
No, pardon. 'Tis a secret must stay locked between the teeth and the lips. But this I can let you understand. The greater file of the subject held the Duchess to be wise.
Wise? But there's no question that she was.
A very superficial, ignorant, unweighing lady.
Either this is envy in you folly or a mistaking. But if ever the Duchess were to return, as are our prayers that she may, let me desire you to make your answer before her. If it is honest that you have spoke, then you have courage to maintain it. I'm bound to call upon you, sir, and I pray you your name.
Oh, my name is Lucio, well known to the Duchess.
And she shall know you better, sir, if I live to report you.
I fear you not.
Oh, so either you hope the Duchess will return no more, or you imagine me too unhurtful an opponent. But indeed I can do you little harm. This you'll forswear again.
I'll be hanged first. Thou art deceived in me. But no more of this. Canst thou tell if Claudio died tomorrow or no?
Why should he die?
Why? For filling the bottle with a tundish. And would the Duchess we talk of were returned again? This ungenitured agent will unpeople the province with continency. The Duchess yet would have dark deeds darkly answered. She would never bring them to light. The Duchess, and I say to thee again, would eat mutton on Fridays. She's now past it yet, and I say to thee, she would mouth with a beggar though she smelt brown bread and garlic. Say I said so. Farewell.
What king so strong can tie up the gall in a slanderous tongue? But who's that?
Go, 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 away with her to prison.
Good, my lady, be good to me. Your honour is accounted a merciful woman. Be good, my lady.
Double and treble admonition and still forfeit of the same kind. This will make Marcy swear and play the tyrant.
A board of 11 years continuance may please your honour.
My lady, this is what Lucio's information against me. Mistress Kate Keepdown was with child by him in the Duchess's time. He promised her marriage. The child will be 1¼ come Philip and Jacob. I kept it myself. And see how he goes about to abuse me.
That fellow is a fellow of much license. Let him be called before us. Away with her to prison. Go to, no more words. provost, my brother Angelo will not be altered. Claudio must die tomorrow.
So please you, this sister had been with him and advised him for the entertainment of death.
Oh, good evening, good sister.
Bliss and goodness on you.
Of whence are you?
Not of this country, though my chance is now to use it for my time. I am a sister of gracious order, late come from the sea, on special business from His Holiness.
What news abroad in the world?
None, but there is such a fever on goodness that the disillusion of it must cure it. I pray you, ma'am, of what disposition was the Duchess?
One that above all other strifes contended especially to know herself.
What pleasures was she given to?
Rather rejoicing to see another merry than merry at anything that professed to make her rejoice. Let me desire to know how you find Claudio prepared. I've been made to understand that you paid him a visitation.
Now is he prepared to die?
Oh, you've paid the heavens your function, and the prisoner, very debt of your calling.
If his own life answers proceedings, then it shall become him well. If he chance to fail, he hath sentenced himself.
I am going to visit the prisoner. Fare you well.
Peace be with you. Shame on him whose cruel striking kills for faults of his own liking. Twice treble shame on Angelo, to weed my vice and let his grow. Oh, what may man within him hide, though angel on the outward side? Craft against vice I must apply. With Angelo tonight shall lie. His old betrothed but despised, and so disguise shall, by the disguised, pay with falsehood false exacting, and perform an old contracting.
Well, well, we've come to the aforementioned intermission. Enjoy thy refreshment, but be precise in thy timekeeping. What think it's just 15 minutes hence?
Get off the stage, you varlet!
Very well met and welcome. What news of this good deputy?
He hath a garden circummured with brick, whose western side is with a vineyard packed. There have I made my promise upon the heavy middle of the night to call upon him.
Which shall you on your knowledge find this way?
He did show me the way twice over.
Are there no other tokens between you agreed concerning her observance?
No, none, to repair in the dark. And that I have possessed him, my most stay can be but brief. For I have let him know I have a servant which comes with me along, that stays upon me, whose persuasion is I come about my brother.
'Tis well borne up. I have not yet made known to Mariana a word of this. What ho within? Come forth. I pray you be acquainted with this maid. She comes to do you good.
I do desire the like.
Do you persuade yourself that I respect you?
Good sister, I know you do. Will it please you walk aside?
O place in greatness, millions of false eyes are stuck upon thee. Volumes of report run with these false and most contrarious quests upon thy doings. 1,000 escapes of wit make thee the father of their idle dreams, and rack thee in their fancies.
Welcome, how agreed? She'll take the enterprise upon her, sister, if you advise it.
It is not only my consent, but my entreaty too.
Little have you to say when you depart, but soft and low. Remember now, my brother.
Fear me not.
No, gentle daughter, fear you not at all. He is your husband on a pre-contract. To bring you thus together, 'tis no sin. Sit that the justice of your title to him doth flourish the deceit. Come, let us go. Our corns to reap, yet our times to sow.
Come hither! Can you cut off a man's head?
If the man be a bachelor, sir, I can. But if he be a married man, then he's his wife's head, and I could never cut off a woman's head.
Tomorrow morning are to die Claudio and Barnaby. Here is, in our prison, a common executioner who in his office lacks a helper. If you will take it upon you to assist him, it shall redeem you from your gyves. If not, you shall have your full time of imprisonment and your deliverance with an unpitied whipping, for you have been a notorious bawd.
Sir, I have been an unlawful bawd, time out of mind, but yet I would be glad to be a lawful hangman. I'd be glad to receive some instruction from my fellow partner.
What hoy, parson? Where's a parson there?
You go, Sirrah!
Sirrah, here's a woman who will help you in your execution tomorrow. She hath been a bawd.
A bawd, sir! Fire upon her! She will discredit our mystery.
Go to, sir! You weigh equally. A feather will turn the scale.
Pray, sir, by your good favor, for surely, sir, a good favor you have, but that you have that hanging look. Do you call, sir, your occupation a mystery?
I miss a mystery.
Painting, sir, I have heard say, is a mystery. And your horse, sir, being members of my occupation, using painting, to prove my occupation a mystery. But what mystery there should be in hanging if I should be hanged, I cannot imagine.
It is a mystery.
Proof.
Every true man's apparel fits your thief. If it be too little for your thief, your true man thinks it big enough. And if it be too big for your thief, your true man thinks it little enough. Therefore, every true man's apparel fits your thief.
Are you agreed?
Yes, Sirrah.
Sir, I will serve him, for I do find your hangman is a more penitent trade than your board. He doth oftener ask forgiveness.
You, Sirrah, provide your block and axe tomorrow, 4 o'clock.
Aye. Come on, miss. I shall teach you my trade.
I do desire to learn, sir, and I hope if you find occasion to use me for your own turn, you shall find me here. For truly, sir, for your kindness, I owe you a...
Call hither Barnardine and Claudio! The one as my pity, not a jot the other. Being a murderer, though he were my brother. Where's Barnardine?
He will not wake.
Who can do good on him? Well, go, prepare yourself. But hark, what noise? Heaven keep your spirits safe. By and by. I hope it is some pardon or reprieve for the most gentle Claudio. Welcome, sister.
The best and wholesomest spirits of the night envelop you, good provost. Who's called here of late?
None since the curfew rang.
Then they will ere it be long.
What comfort is for Claudio?
There's some in hope.
It is a bitter deputy.
Not so, not so. He doth with holy abstinence subdue in himself that which he spurs on his power to qualify in others. Were he mealed with that which he corrects, then were he tyrannous. This being so, he is just. Now are they come. This is a gentle provost. Seldom is the steel jailer the friend of men. Have you no countermand for Claudio as yet, sir, but must he die tomorrow?
None, ma'am, none.
As near as the dawn morning, Provost, as it is, you will hear more ere morning.
Happily you something know. Yet I believe there comes no countermand. No such example have we. Besides, upon the very siege of justice, Lord Angelo hath to the public ear professed the contrary. This is his lordship's man.
And here comes Claudio's pardon.
My lord hath sent you this note.
This is a pardon purchased by such sin, for which the pardoner himself is in. Now, sir, what news?
Whatsoever you may hear to the contrary, let Claudio be executed by 4 o'clock, and in the afternoon, Barnardine. For my better satisfaction, let me have Claudio's head sent me by 5. Thus fail not to do your office, as you will answer it at your peril. What say you to this, ma'am?
What's this Barnardine who is to be executed in the afternoon?
A Bohemian born, but here nursed up and bred, one that is a prisoner 9 years old.
Hath he borne himself penitently in prison? How seems he to be touched?
One who apprehends death no more dreadfully, but as a drunken sleep. He hath nevermore had the liberty of the prison. Given leave to escape hence, he would not. Drunk many times a day, if not many days, entirely drunk. We have very oft awaked him, as if to carry him to execution and show the seeming warrant for it. It hath not moved him at all.
More of him anon. There seems written on your brow, Provost, an honesty and constancy. If I read it not truly, my ancient skills beguile me. But in the boldness of my cunning, I will lay myself in hazard. Claudio, whom you have here a warrant to execute, is no greater forfeit to the law than Angelo, who hath sentenced him. To make you understand this in a manifest effect, I crave but 4 days' respite, in which you are to do me a present and dangerous courtesy.
Pray, ma'am, in what?
In the delaying death.
Alack, how may I do it?
Let this Barnardine this morning be executed and his head borne to Angelo.
Angelo hath seen them both and will discover the favour.
Oh, that's a great disguiser, and you may add to it. Shave his head and tie his beard and say it was the desire of the penitent to be so bad before his death.
Pardon me, good sister, it is against my oath.
Were you sworn to the Duchess or to the deputy?
To her and her substitute.
And you will think you have made no offence if the Duchess were to vouch for the justice of your dealing.
But what likelihood is in that?
Not a resemblance, but a certainty. Look here, sir, the hand and seal of the Duchess.
I know them both.
The contents of this are the return of the Duchess. You shall read this at your leisure, wherein you shall find within 2 days she shall be here. This is a thing Angelo knows not. All difficulties are but easy when they are known. Call your executioner and off with Barnardine's head. I shall give him a present shrift and advise him to a better place. Come, let us away, it is almost clear dawn.
I am as well acquainted here as I was in our house of profession. One would think it were Mistress Overdan's own house, for here be many of her old customers. Ooh. First, here's young Master Rash. He's in for a commodity of brown paper and old ginger, 9 17 pounds, of which he made 5 marks ready money. Marry then, ginger was not much in request, for the old women were all dead. Then is there here one Master Caper, and the suit of Master Threepile the Mercer for some 4 suits of peach-coloured satin, which now beaches him a beggar. Then have we here young Dizzy, young Master Deepbow, Master Copperspur, Master Starlackey the Rapier and Dagger Man, young Dropper, Killed Lusty Pudding, Master Fortlight the Tilter, brave Master Shoe-Tie, the great world trouble, and I think 40 more, all great doers in our trade. And now,
Miss, bring Barnardine hither.
Master Barnardine, you must rise and be hanged. Master Barnardine.
Oh, sponsor your throat!
What ho, Barnardine?
Who's there? What are you?
Your friend, sir, the hangman. You must be so good as to rise and be put to death.
Away, you rope! Away, I'm sleepy!
Tell him he must wake up, and that quickly too.
Pray, Master Barnardine, awake till you are executed and sleep afterwards.
Go into him and fetch him out. Is the axe ready upon the block, miss?
Very ready, sir.
Oh, here comes your ghostly sister. Do we jest now, think you?
I have come to advise him, comfort him, and pray with him.
He has been drinking hard all night and is not fitted for death.
Fit to live or die. Gravel hard after him, fellows. Bring him to the block.
Now, Mum, how do you find the prisoner?
A creature unmeet, unprepared for death. To transport him in the mind he were in were damnable.
Here in the prison, sister, this morning died of a cruel fever one Ragozine, a most notorious pirate. A man of Claudio's years, his beard and head just of his colour. What if we do omit this reprobate till he were well inclined, and satisfy the deputy with the visage of Ragozine more like to Claudio?
'Tis an accident that the heavens provide. Quick, dispatch it presently. The hour draws on, prefixed by Angelo.
This shall be done, good sister, presently. But Barnardine must die this afternoon, and how shall we continue Claudio to save me from the danger that might come if he were known alive?
Let this be done. Put them in secret holes, both Barnardine and Claudio. Quick, dispatch it presently. Now I shall write letters to Angelo, the provost. He shall bear them, the contents of which will witness to him I am near at home.
Here's the head. I'll carry it myself.
Convenient, is it? Make a swift return.
I'll make all speed.
Peace, oh, be here. The tongue of Isabel. She hath come to know if her brother's pardon come to hither. But I will keep her ignorant of it for her good, to make her heavenly comforts of despair, when it is least expected.
Oh, by your leave.
Good morning to you, fair and gracious daughter.
The better, given to me by so holy a woman. Hath yet the deputy sent my brother's pardon?
He hath released him, Isabel, from this world. His head is often sent to Angelo.
Nay, it is not so.
It is no other. Show your wisdom, daughter, in your close patience.
I will do him and pluck out his eyes.
You shall not be admitted to his sight.
Unhappy Claudio, wretched Isabel, injurious world, and most damned Angelo.
This nor hurts him, nor profits you a jot. The Duchess comes home tomorrow. Already she hath sent notice to Angelo and Escala, who do prepare to meet her at the gates, to give up their power. Place your wisdom in that good path where I would wish it to go, and you shall have your bosom on this wretch, revenges to your heart, the grace of the Duchess, and general honour. Command these fretting waters from your eyes with a light heart. Trust not my holy order if I do pervert your course. Who's there?
Good evening, sister. Where's the provost?
Not within, sir.
Oh, pretty Isabella! I am pale at mine heart to see thine eyes so red. But they say the Duchess will be here tomorrow. By my troth, Isabel, I loved thy brother. If the old fantastical Duchess of Dark Corners had been at home, he had lived.
Sir, the Duchess has marvellous little beholdings in your reports, but the best is she lives not in them.
Sister, thou knowest not the Duchess so well as I do. She's a better woman than thou takest her for. I can tell thee pretty tales of the Duchess.
You have told me too many of her already, sir, if they be true. If not, none were enough.
I was once before her for getting a wench with child.
Did you such a thing?
Yes, marry, did I? Though I was fain to forswear it. They would else have had me married to the rotten meddler.
So sister, your company is fairer than honest. Rest you well.
By my troth, I'll go with thee to the lane's end.
Every letter she hath writ hath disvouched other.
In most uneven and distracted manner. Her actions show much like to madness. Pray heavens her wisdom be not tainted, and why meet at the gates and deliver our authorities there?
I guess not.
And why should we proclaim it an hour before her entering, that if any crave redress of injustice, they should exhibit their petitions in the street?
She shows her reason for that, to have a dispatch of complaints and to deliver us from our devices hereafter, which shall then have no power to stand against us.
Well, I beseech you, let it be proclaimed. Betimes in the morn I'll call to you at your house. Give notice to such men of sort and suit as are to meet her.
I shall, sir. Fare you well.
Good night. This deed unshapes me quiet, makes me unpregnant and dull to all proceedings. A deflowered maid, and by an eminent body that enforced the law against it, but that her tender shame will not proclaim against her maiden loss. How might she tongue me? Yet, reason dares her no, for my authority bears of a credent bulk, which no particular scandal once can touch. But it confounds the breather. He should have lived. Save that with riotous youth and dangerous sense might in the times to come have taken revenge by receiving dishonored life with ransom of such shame. Would yet he had lived. Alack! When once our grace we have forgot, nothing goes right. We would, and we would not.
He knows our purpose and plot. The matter being afoot, hold you ever to our special instruction and to our special drift, and bid them bring the trumpets to the gates.
It shall be speeded well.
To speak so indirectly, I am loath. I would say the truth, but to accuse him so, that is your part. Yet I am advised to do it. She says, to vain full purpose.
Be ruled by her.
Besides, she tells me, if peradventure she speak against me, I should not think it strange. What is a physic that's bitter to sweet end?
I would the sister.
Please, the sisters come.
Come, I have found you a stand most fit, from which you shall have such vantage on the Duchess, she shall not pass you. The Duchess is entering. Let's hence away.
return be to your royal grace.
Heartiest thankings to you both. We hear such goodness of your justice that our soul cannot but yield you forth for public thanks.
You make my bonds still greater.
Now is your time. Speak loudly and kneel before her.
Justice, O Royal Duchess, veil your regard upon a wronged maid. I pray thee hear me in my true complaint and give me justice. Justice, justice, justice.
Relate your wrongs in what, by whom. Be brief. Here is Lord Angelo shall give you justice. Reveal yourself to him.
O worthy Duchess, you bid me seek redemption of the devil. Hear me yourself, for that which I must speak must either punish me, not being believed, or wring redress from you. Hear me, oh hear me, hear.
My lady, her wits, I fear me, are not firm. She hath been a suitor to me, for her brother, cut off by the course of justice.
By course of justice?
She will speak most bitterly and strange.
Most strange, yet most truly will I speak. That Angelo's forsworn, is it not strange? That Angelo is a murderer, is it not strange? That Angelo is an adulterous thief and hypocrite, a virgin violator, is it not strange and strange?
Nay, it is 10 times strange.
It is not truer he is Angelo than this is as true as it is strange. Nay, it is 10 times true, for truth is truth to the end of reckoning.
Away with her poor soul, she speaks this in the infirmity of sense.
Angelo, in all his dressings, characters, titles, forms, be an arch-villain. If he be less, he is nothing, but he is more, had I more name for badness.
On mine honesty, if she be mad, as I believe no other, her madness hath the oddest frame of sense.
Let your reason serve, to make the truth appear where it seems hid, and hide the false seems true.
I am sure more like a reason. What would you say?
I am the sister of one Claudio, condemned upon the act of fornication to lose his head, condemned by Angelo. I, in probation of a sisterhood, went to this pernicious caitiff deputy. Oh, how I persuaded, how I prayed and kneeled. I now begin with grief and shame to utter. He would not, but by gift of my chaste body, to his concupiscible intemperate lust, release my brother. And I did yield to him. But come Monby times, he sends a warrant for my poor brother's head.
This is most likely.
Oh, it is as like as it is true.
First, his integrity stands without blemish. Next, it imports no reason why he should with such vehemency pursue faults proper to himself. And he so offended, he would have weighed himself by thy brother and not have cut him off. Someone had set you on. Confess the truth, say by whose advice thou camest here to complain.
And is this all? Then, O blessed ministers above, keep me in patience, and with ripened time, unfold this evil that is wrapped up here in countenance. Heaven keep thy grace from hope, as I thus wronged, hence unbelieved go.
I knew you'd fain be gone, an officer, to prison with her. Shall we thus permit a blasting and scandalous breath to fall on him so near us? This needs must be a practice. Who knew of your intent in coming hither?
One that I would were here, Sister Ludovica.
Who knows this Ludovica?
My lady, I know her. 'Tis a meddling nun. I do not like the lady. Had she been lay, my lady, for certain words she spoke against your grace in your retirement, I'd swinged her soundly.
Words against me? Let this nun be found.
But yesternight, my lady, she and that nun, I saw them in the prison. A very saucy nun, a very scurvy filly.
Bless
be your royal grace. I have stood by, my lady, and I have heard your royal ear abused. First had this woman most wrongfully accused your substitute, who is as free from soil or touch with her as she from one ungot.
We did believe no less. Know you this Sister Ludovica she speaks of?
I do, my lady. I know her for a nun most divine and holy. Not scurvy, nor a temporary meddler, as is reported by this gentleman, and on my trust, my lady, a nun who never did as yet misreport, as he vouches, misreport your grace.
My lady, most villainously, believe it!
Oh, well, in time may she come to clear herself. At this present instant she is sick, my lady, of a strange fever. On her mere request, and being come to the knowledge that there was a complaint against Lord Angelo, came I hither. For this woman to justify this worthy nobleman so viciously and personally attacked. How shall you here disprove it to her eyes, till she herself confess it?
Good sister, let's hear it. Sister, is this the witness? First let her show her face and after speak.
Pardon, my lady. I will not show my face after my husband bid me.
What, are you married?
No, my lady.
Are you a maid?
No, my lady.
A widow then?
Neither, my lady.
Or are you nothing, neither maid nor widow nor wife?
My lady, she may be a punk, for many are neither maid, widow, nor wife.
Silence that fellow. I would that he had cause to prattle for himself.
Well,
my lady, I do confess I am no maid. And I confess besides that I near was married. I have known my husband, yet my husband knows not that he ever knew me.
He was drunk! Then, my lady, it could be no better.
For the benefit of silence, I would thou wert so too.
Well, my lady.
This is no witness for Lord Angelo.
Now I come to it, my lady. She that accuses him of fornication in the selfsame manner doth accuse my husband, and charges him, my lady, with such a time when I'll repose. I had him in mine arms with all the effect of love.
Charges she more than me?
Not that I know.
No, you say your husband.
Why, just my lady, and that is Angelo, who thinks he knows he never knew my body, but knows he thinks he knows Isabel's.
This is a strange abuse. Let's see thy face.
My husband bids me. Now I will unmask. This is that face, thou cruel Angelo, which once thou sworest was worth looking on. And this is the body that took away the match from Isabel, and did supply thee at thy garden house in her imagined person.
Know you this woman?
Carnally, she said.
Sirrah, no more.
Enough, my lady.
My lady, I must confess, I know this woman, and 5 years since there was some speech of marriage betwixt myself and her, which was broke off, and since which time of 5 years I never spake with her, saw her, nor heard from her, upon my faith and honour.
Noble Grace, I am affianced this man's wife as strongly as words make up loves, and my good lady, but Tuesday night last gone in his garden house, he knew me as a wife.
I do perceive. These poor, infernal women are no more than instruments of some more mightier member that sets them on. Let me have way, my lady, to find this practice out.
Aye, with all my heart, and punish them to your height of pleasure. Dear Escala, sit with my cousin and lend him your kind pains to find out this abuse whence 'tis derived. There is another nun hath set them on. Let her be sent for.
Well, indeed, that she were here, my lady, for she did set the women on to this complaint. Your provost knows where she resides, and we shall fetch her.
Go do it instantly. And you, my noble and well-warranted cousin, I for a while must leave you, but stir you not till you have well determined upon these slanderers.
My lady, we shall do it thoroughly. Signor Lucio, did not you say you knew that Sister Ludovica to be a dishonest person?
Cocculus non facit monarchum.
Huh?
honest in nothing but in her clothes, and one that has spoke most villainous speeches of the Duchess.
Oh, we shall entreat you to abide here till she come and enforce them against her. Call that same Isabella here once again. I will speak with her. Pray you, my lord, give me leave to question. You shall see how I will handle her.
Not better than he by her own report.
Say you?
My lady, I think if you handled her privately, she'd sooner confess. Perchance publicly, she'll be ashamed.
We'll go darkly to work with her.
That's the way. For women are light at midnight.
Come on, mistress. Here is a gentlewoman denies everything you said.
My lady, this is the minx I spoke of, here with the provost.
Ah, in very good time. Look, speak you not to her until we call upon you.
Ma'am.
Come, ma'am. Did you set these women on to slander Lord Angelo? They have confessed you did. 'Tis false. How? Know you where you are?
Respect to your great place. Where is the Duchess, 'tis she should hear me speak?
Ha, the Duchess is in us, and we will hear you speak. Look, you speak justly.
Is the Duchess gone? Is your cause gone then too? The Duchess is unjust thus to retort your manifest appeal and put your trial in the villain's mouth, whom you've come here to accuse.
My lady, this is the minx I spoke of.
Why, thou unreverend and unhallowed sister, is it not enough thou hast suborned these women to accuse this worthy man, but in foul mouth and in the witness of his proper ear, to call him villain?
My business in this state made me an onlooker in this city, where I have seen corruption boil and bubble till it o'errun the stew. Laws for all faults, but faults so countenanced. The strong statutes stand like forfeits in a barber's shop, as much in mock as mark.
Oh, slander to the state, away with her to prison.
What can you vouch against her, Signor Lucio? Is this the woman that you did tell us of?
'Tis she, my lord. Come hither. Do you know me?
I remember you, sir, by the sound of your voice. I met you in the prison in the absence of the Duchess.
Ah! Did you, sir? And do you remember what you said of the Duchess?
Most notedly, sir.
Ah! Do you, sir? And was the Duchess a fleshmonger, a fool, and a coward, as you then reported her to be?
You, sir, must change persons with me ere you make that my report. You indeed spoke thus of her, and much more, much worse.
Now, damnable villain! Did I not pluck thee by the nose for thy speeches?
I confess I love the Duchess as I love myself.
Hark! How the villain would close now after her treasonable abuses.
Away with her to prison, provost! Away with her to prison!
Stay, sir, stay a while.
What resists she? Help him, Lucio.
Why, you lying minx! Oh, you must be hooded, must you? Show your knave's visage with a pox to you! Show your sheep-biting face and be hanged an hour! Will it not off?
Thou art the first knave that e'er madest a Duchess. First, provost, let me bail the gentle three. Sneak you not away, sir, for you and the nun must have a word anon. Lay a hold on him.
This may prove worse than hanging.
What you have spoke, I pardon. Sit you down, we'll borrow place of him. Sir, by your leave, hast thou word or wit or impudence that can yet do the office? If thou hast, rely upon it till my tale be heard, and hold no longer out.
Oh, my dread lady, I should be guiltier than my guiltiness to think I can be undiscernible when I perceive your grace. Thy power divine hath looked upon my passes. Immediate sentencing and sequent death is all the grace I beg.
Come hither, Mariana. Say, wast thou e'er contracted to this woman?
Was, my lady.
Go take her hence and marry her instantly. Returning here again, go with them, provost.
My lady, I'm more amazed at his dishonor than at the strangeness of it.
Come hither, Isabel. As I was then, advertising and wholly to your business, not changing heart with habit, I remain attorney to your service.
Oh, give me pardon, that I, your vassal, having employed and paid your unknown sovereignty.
You are pardoned, dear maid, and now be you as free with us. Your brother's death, I know, sits at your heart, and you may marvel how I obscured myself laboring to save his life. But peace be on him. That life is a better life that is past fearing death than that which lives to fear. Make it your comfort, so happy is your brother.
I do, my lady.
And for this newly married man approaching here, whose salt imagination hath yet wronged your well-defended honor, you must pardon for Mariana's sake. But that he adjudged your brother, being criminal in double violation of sacred chastity and promise breach, thereon dependent for your brother's death. An Angelo for Claudio, death for death. Haste still pays haste, and leisure answers leisure, like doth quit like, and measure still for measure. And Angelo, thy faults thus manifested, we do condemn thee to the very block where Claudio stooped to his death, and with like haste, away with him.
Oh, my most gracious lady, I hope you will not mock me with a husband.
It is your husband who mocked you with a husband. Consenting to the safeguard of your honor, I thought your marriage fit. For his possessions, though by confiscation they are ours, we do instate and widow you withal, to buy you a better husband.
Oh, my dear lady, I crave no other nor no better man.
Do not crave him, we are definitive.
Gentle, your grace.
Do but lose your labor. Away with him to prison. Now, sir, on to you.
Oh, my dear lady, all my life to come, I will give you all my life to do you service. Isabel, sweet Isabel, they say the best men are molded out of faults, and for the most become much more the better for being a little bad. So may my husband.
He dies for Claudio's death.
O bounteous grace, look, if it please you, upon this man condemned, as if my brother lived. I partly believed, but due sincerity governed his deeds before he did look upon me. Since it is so, let him not die. My brother had but justice, in that he did the deed for which he died. For Angelo, his deed did not overtake his bad intent, and should be buried but as an intent that perished along the way. Thoughts are no subjects, intents merely thoughts.
Merely, your grace.
Your suit's unprofitable. I have bethought me of another fault. Provost, how came it that Claudio was hanged at such an unearthly hour?
It was commanded so.
Had you a special warrant for the deed?
No, my good lady. It was my private message.
And for this I shall discharge you of your office. Give up your keys.
Pardon me, noble lady. I thought it was a fault, but knew it not, yet did repent me after more advice. For testimony whereof, one in the prison, who should by private order else have died, I have reserved alive.
What's he?
His name is Barnaby.
I would thou hadst done so by Claudio. Go fetch him hither and let me lay eyes on him.
I'm sorry, one so learned and so wise as you, Lord Angelo, have still appeared, should slip so grossly, both in the heat of blood and lack of tempered judgment afterward.
I am sorry that such sorrow I procure, and most deep sticks it in my penitent heart, that I crave death more willingly than mercy. 'Tis my deserving, and I do entreat it.
Which is this Barnaby?
Who should have died when Claudio lost his head, as like almost to Claudio as himself.
If he be like your brother, then for his sake is he pardoned. And for your lovely sake, give me your hand and say you will be mine. He is my brother too. A fitter time for that. Well, Angelo, your evil quits you well. Look that you love your wife, your worth hers. I find an apt remission in myself. Yet here is one that I cannot pardon. You, sirrah, who knew me for a fool, a coward, one in all luxury, an ass, a woman mad. Wherein have I thus deceived you, where you extol me thus?
Faith, my lady, I spoke it, but according to the trick. If you will hang me for it, you may. But I had rather it would please you I might be whipped.
Whip first, sir, and hanged after. Proclaim it, provost, round about the city, if there be any woman who has been wronged by this lewd fellow, for so I have heard him swear himself, that there is one whom he begot with child. Let her appear, and he shall marry her. The nuptial finished, let him be whipped and hanged.
I beseech your highness, do not marry me to a whore. Your highness said, even now I made you a duchess. Do not recompense me in making me a cuckold.
Upon mine honour thou shalt marry her. Thy slanders I forgive, and therewithal remit thy other forfeit. Away with him to prison, and see that our pleasure herein executed.
Marrying a punk, my lady, is pressing to death, whipping and hanging.
Slandering a princess is deserving of it. She, Claudio, that you wronged, look that you restore. Joy to you, Mariana. Love her, Angelo, I have confessed her and know her virtue. Thanks, dear friend Escala, for thy much goodness. There is much more behind that is more gratulate. Thanks, provost, for thy secrecy and care. We shall employ thee in a worthier place. Forgive him, Angelo, that brought you the head of Ragozine in place of Claudio's. The offence pardons itself. Dear Isabella, there is a motion, much imports your good. Whereto, if you'll a willing ear incline, what's mine is yours, what's yours is mine.